What's up, Dallas Cowboy Nation? It's your boy G from Jersey with the Quest for Six podcast, man. Listen, little over 24 hours away from the trade deadline. And this morning, the Philadelphia Eagles making a trade for edge rusher Jalen Phillips, formerly of the Miami Dolphins, for a third-round pick. And that threw Twitter into a spin cycle with Dallas Cowboys fans upset about the lack of movement on behalf of the Dallas Cowboys because of that trade, right? Of course, that wasn't the only trade that the Philadelphia Eagles have made over the last few days. They also traded for cornerback Jair Alexander, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens, late last week, as well as they are looking to solidify or help out their defense, all right, towards the stretch. They're coming off of a bye, so they'll look to have Jair Alexander and Jalen Phillips when they play again next week. But back to the Dallas Cowboys. I have a theory as to why the Cowboys are in a tough predicament right now in terms of making a move right now. And that is because we play on Monday Night Football, folks, and where we are positionally in the playoff bracket in terms of the NFC. If you look at the NFC playoff standings after yesterday's games, right? The Dallas Cowboys are currently in 11th place. And when you look at where we are and who we are behind the Chicago Bears and Carolina Panthers, two teams that we lost to already this year. And those two teams pulled off good wins yesterday, right? Chicago beating Cincinnati last minute and Carolina beating the Green Bay Packers in a solid victory yesterday. With those two teams winning yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys possibly took a step back and said, all right, let's see what we do on Monday night against the Arizona Cardinals. Sorry. And the reason I believe they did that is because a Dallas Cowboys loss tonight pretty much says season over, right? Because at that point, we'll fall behind the Atlanta Falcons, who are in 12th place, and it's pretty much going to be a long shot to make the postseason. Now, with a win tonight, you jump the 10th place Minnesota Vikings in the standings, and then you have your bye week, and in 2 weeks you play the Las Vegas Raiders, which you have to feel good about. And you look at what Philadelphia has ahead of them schedule-wise, and you say, okay, listen, let's make a move or two, and let's see if we can go on a run like we did in 2018 after the Amari Cooper trade, and let's see where we go. But that's what I think is essentially the holdup right now as far as Dallas making a move at the very moment that we're speaking right now. I'm not saying that they're not on the phone. I believe they're on the phone both making calls for players and fielding calls for players that are currently on the Cowboys rosters. I do think that there are teams that are trying to see what's going on with George Pickens. I do think that there are teams that are calling to see what's up with Javonte Williams. I think there are teams calling to see what's up with Jalen Tolbert. I think that there are teams that are calling to see what's up with Trayvon Diggs. They are fielding phone calls, but the hindrance of them having to play tonight and not having played yesterday has them in a wait-and-see approach, in my opinion. The other part of what's going on is who do they trade for that is going to be beneficial and worth the picks? When you look at the report that came out earlier today, the Cincinnati Bengals have said that they'll listen to trade calls for Trey Hendrickson, but they want a first-round pick in return. To me, that doesn't make sense for the Cowboys because, or unless they can negotiate a 2 to 3 year extension with Trey Hendrickson upon the trade being okayed, right? Trading a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson for a first-round pick doesn't make sense because he's a free agent after the season. Who would I look at if I'm the Dallas Cowboys? Players that I will have their services for the next couple of years. First round pick worthy trade candidates, in my opinion, you have Jeffrey Simmons, Max Crosby, Quentin Williams, and it stops there. Those guys you'll have for multiple seasons after this year. And if those teams say, give me a first and another pick later on, boom, let's go. Let's do it. Whether we win or lose tonight. Those guys will make your team better next year and this year right away. All right. Players that I think that the Cowboys should target right now, safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. If the Dolphins want a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick, make the move. Why? Because Minkah Fitzpatrick is one of the top 5 safeties in football right now. He's going to change the way your secondary plays. All right. Quincy Williams. Yes, we need linebacker. He's a free agent after the year. Give the Jets a late round pick for him. All right. Jordan Brooks, you need a linebacker. You'll have him for at least 2026 as well. Give a mid to late round pick for him. All right. Grant Delpit, another young safety, top 10 safety in the NFL. Give the Cleveland Browns a late round pick for him if you can. But that is my opinion on what is taking the Cowboys so long in this trade deadline, and they'll wait to see what happens tonight. Go Cowboys.